Welcome to LUTV in Focus. I am Tommy Byers. Hurricane Ian would become the fifth largest hurricane to hit Florida. Former LUTV sports anchor Carson Racich joins us today to tell us how the devastation from Ian impacted her and her family. Welcome, Carson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. 121 different hurricanes have hit Florida.
Mhm.
And you've had experiences with evacuating when you were a student here at Lamar. How was your experience evacuating when you were in Texas different from when you evacuated in Florida?
Yeah, so I would have to say the difference is when I was at Lamar, I was a part of the golf team there, and we were kind of underneath some authority who had a say so in what we did. And with Laura, it was going right towards Beaumont and Port Arthur, and then it had shifted to like the Sulphur Lake Charles area. So I think the fact that the athletic department knew like we were their responsibility, they told us we basically had to evacuate. We had to do something. So we had all gone to Houston or Dallas, whatever. And the difference being in Florida here is I'm no longer on an athletic team, and I'm basically on my own, having to make my own decisions. So for me, it was a lot of hemming and hawing because part of me wanted to ride out a hurricane, but part of me also is like, what happens if this is worse? I'm by myself. I don't really have family here, or, I just have my friends. So it was really hard to make my own decision because your ego kind of outweighs the smarts. So it was one of those, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. But I decided that my life's a little more important than getting to say I rode out a hurricane.
Right. And speaking of life, you've spent a lot of time in Florida. Your family owns a timeshare there in Fort Myers, and you spent a large portion of your life there in Florida. What was it like to return to see the devastation?
Oh my God, I have no words for it. I think the footage that is being shown on TV and through the pictures and whatnot don't even make up for the emotion and reaction that you have actually walking through. So for me, we weren't able to return to school until this past Saturday. So I've only been at school a few days. And throughout that week, I decided I wanted to come and bring some stuff down and see if I could go check on our place due to the fact that like the storm had settled down and everything was calm. When I got there, I wasn't allowed over the bridge because I didn't have a hurricane pass or like proof of residency. So I had found a friend that had a pass and he let me walk over the bridge with him. When I walked up to our place, I was bawling. I was so emotional. I did not recognize anything. And that was just the reaction to our place. And then just coming over the bridge itself, it was shocking. It literally looked like a war zone, sand piled high. I mean, just debris everywhere. All your little touristy shops that have all the clothes, hats, whatnot, just covered all over the place. I didn't recognize anything. And just even seeing like my own room not there and like the building collapsed, it was insane. And I can tell you the one thing that sent me absolutely over the edge was that I lost my grandma in May this past year to pancreatic cancer, and we had spread her ashes on one of the palm trees at our location, and that was the only thing still standing. So that was really hard to see.
And so your spirit of your grandma was able to still hold on and give you that piece of kind of comfort when you returned in a way.
Yeah, it was hard because this place is like so full of so many memories that we have. It's so full of it. And to see that, that piece was able to live on was really warming to the heart, but it's still like we're so full of anger because we're like, how can this happen? Like we lost a place where we all come together. It was like losing another family member.
Right. And so have you been able to salvage anything from this from Hurricane Ian?
Not so much. When I went down there, I actually got in trouble for walking the property until the lady who was there recognized who I was and who my family was. So it was the owner of the property who basically runs it throughout the summer. She recognized me and was letting me walk around basically and kind of pick up some stuff. And she handed me two keys and was like, "I don't know if these are the keys to your room or not, but we can pretend for the sake of it." So I have two of the keys to our condo or our timeshares, you could say. So that's nice to have, because knowing that they're going to have to either demolish completely and rebuild, it's a little piece of heaven, basically, some memories.
Right. And so the palm tree of your grandma's ashes on it, you have keys that you'll probably keep forever. And it may be just
Absolutely.
something simple to somebody else, but to you, it's a memory that will last a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that you would like to let people know about your community and what they can do to assist with those recovery efforts?
Absolutely. I think that it's important to know that, hurricanes are no joke. And despite the fact that people want to stick it out with their ego, it definitely is damaging to maybe not you, but like someone down the road. And it's not a time to play the blame game when people chose not to evacuate, because there's a lot of reasons why evacuation might not have been an option, but to be sympathetic for those who, had to stay or lost something. And, whatever you can do to either like donate or, send help or just wishes is really beneficial, because Southwest Florida has been through hurricanes before. I want to say Charlie was the one that impacted Fort Myers the most, in Punta Gorda area, whatnot. But this one was just not like that. That it was 10 times worse. So, they rebuilt once and they're going to do it again.
I'd like to sincerely thank former LUTV sports anchor Carson Racich for joining us, and thank you for watching LUTV News in Focus. To see more content from LUTV News, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.